So, welcome to the Quest for Fit channel. As my co-host here, Adam, just found out what it's called. Very funny. Um, my name's Luke Elan, and I am a 40-year-old fitness nerd who does fitness as a hobby. My day job is a web developer, and I am inspired to share my thoughts and experience about how I went from the fat nerd to the fit nerd with people on YouTube. And I'm sitting here today with my co-host Adam. Adam, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Adam. I'm a science nerd. I like all things science. I've been involved in different careers that have science involved with it, which includes several degrees that involve science as well. So, hello everyone.
Oh, we could be the bro scientist. Have you heard of the term bro scientist before, Adam?
No.
How could you not? You're just not up on the hip YouTube gym
No.
culture. A bro scientist is the person you go to at the gym and say, can you give me the explanation as to how this works? But you are
Okay.
the actual scientist.
Yeah.
They call this thing called bro science. Like you should be lifting this many reps or you should be doing this many sets. That's bro science.
Okay.
They're all crap. But all I say is just listen to your body. So, we are a fitness channel dedicated for men 30 to 50. If you're outside of that, no problem at all. I'm pretty sure some of the people I go to gym with will watch this channel and laugh and say they're not 30 to 50. But the reason why we're doing it, I guess, is that blokes our age who are starting out or restarting, tend to get lost in a world of information about how to do the things that I guess I've done and Adam has always done. And to give you some perspective, I've lost an awful lot of weight. And this particular episode, we're talking about motivation, and I want to talk about my motivation behind it. Motivation is a really personal thing. Like a lot of people in the past have said, "Oh, it must be great. Your wife, your kid, you're motivated to lose weight for them." And I had to look them in the eye and go, "It's not about my wife or kid. It's about me." I decided to lose weight for my sake. I think if somebody else asked you to lose weight, you could probably do that for 6 weeks, maybe 8 weeks. Two things I think will happen. A, you'll stop doing it because you're not motivated to do it. And B, you might start to resent the other person. So if your partner says, "Honey, sweetheart, would you lose this amount of weight because you're looking overweight now?" I think whilst it's fair for them to ask that, it shouldn't be the thing that motivates you. You have to be internally motivated. And part of my motivation is to fulfill something I should have done as a teenager, and that is do a bodybuilding competition in men's physique. Adam and I went to the same high school together, trained in the same gym, and walked in similar circles for bodybuilding. And I never completed that journey, and that's part of the reason why I want to do it. I had a business mentor that passed away from bad health, and I think that to me was an eye-opening experience. And I think from him passing away, I learnt the lesson: if I don't take care of myself now, I never will. What motivates you, Adam? Now that I've packed my soapbox away,
Um,
or do you feel
Motivation.
motivated,
Sorry.
or do you feel motivated?
No, not normally.
Oh,
I'm an expert. Um, I'm an expert procrastinator.
yep,
So I, through my life, have suffered depression, like many people in the world, and part of depression or not being in a great mood is one of the big things that we become very good at is procrastinating and not doing anything. So for me, getting motivated involves the problem with motivation is you can have the best plans in the world, have the best to-do list in the world, but
yep.
unless you do it, it's nothing.
Oh,
It really doesn't do anything for you. And part of getting out there and doing that is invoking emotion into it. And you said before that it was all about you. It wasn't about others. For some people, it will be about others and
yep.
doing, getting healthy so that they're around when their daughter gets married and all those types of things.
I would
Uh,
agree, Adam. Just to be clear about it, the reason why I said it is I think it's more sustainable if you're doing it for selfish reasons. But what you've said, that is a selfish reason. I'd like to see my child get married is an entirely selfish reason. But
yeah,
I would say in turn, you shouldn't be doing it for your kid. You're doing it because you're selfish and want to see your kid get married. There's a difference.
yeah,
Slight
but I
difference, but I
think
think it's important.
I think the big thing with motivation is, and when you aren't motivated, um, one of the best ways to get started is to just do it.
Yep.
Part of the problem with a lack of motivation is you haven't started. So, and the good thing about just making a start, even if it's small start, generally once you get that wheel in motion, it's self-perpetuating, and particularly with health, you start feeling good.
Yep.
You start getting, there's a lot of research that shows that the cognitive benefits to exercising, let alone the health benefits. So you start realizing all these little benefits that you're getting, and you actually start wanting to get up at 5 in the morning to do your run, or if that's what you choose to do. So the
Sort of
hardest
chemical
thing is
called
getting
dopamine.
started.
Would it
Sorry?
not be the dopamine that people are getting some sort of release from, and the endorphins
Of
from?
course, you get that you get dopamine released, you get euphoria after, particularly cardio exercise,
Yeah,
your endorphins. You get feelings of euphoria after a good run. So, I mean, all those things help, but in particular, the health benefits, you start feeling more energetic, you start feeling better about yourself, your thinking's clearer. All these benefits then help the motivation as well. So, getting off your ass and just doing something initially, as hard as it is, just doing that quite often is the start to motivation. And the whole Nike just do it thing, as much as I don't like using it, it's very true. Just getting up and doing it
totally. It's like you
is
and me
often,
recording this YouTube channel. In all seriousness, part of the reason of doing it is to motivate ourselves. We're now talking formally between yourself and myself about the things that we like to do, and hearing your story and my story even encourage each other. Like, we don't train together because we live in different parts of the city, but we can still have that cross combined experience of motivation. And I think motivation's hard to sum up for people. Like, I've certainly had a lot of people saying, "Do I feel more motivated now I've lost weight?" And it's like, no, that wasn't it. I wanted to lose weight for my own specific health goals, and I moved on with that. And now I've set myself a goal of coming second last in a men's physique competition. I've got to beat somebody. Because if I didn't have it, I wouldn't be motivated. I'm not self-motivated to go to the gym, but I am goal-driven and goal-orientated. So that's why I've set a goal in place to do men's physique and
yeah.
second
Well,
last.
humans are goal orientated beings. That's how we work.
Yeah,
And so linked in with that as part of motivation. So goals are important to be motivated and have something that you're targeted towards. But part of that as well is rewarding yourself. A
sure.
large part of motivation, you need a reward. Now, people work emotionally on pain or pleasure. So another way you could uh, sort of reverse reward yourself, you could say to a friend, I've got to go to the gym today.
Yeah.
Here's $100. If I go, give me back the 100. If I don't, you keep it.
I think there's actually a few websites that do that, you know. I think I saw
Yeah,
dietbet.com or something like that, where you have a
yeah,
betting pool for losing weight. I actually
yeah.
kind of think that's a good motivation for people.
So it depends on what motivates you, though. Some people are motivated towards pleasure.
Yeah,
Some people are motivated away from pain. So it depends on how you work, and that's an individual thing.
sure.
It's like the carrot and the stick debate.
Yeah,
And everyone's different, and advertising works on the carrot and stick as well. So I think you need to find out what works for you, but you also need to, A, have the list of goals, B, get off your ass and start doing it, but C, have some sort of reward in place that you can give yourself for doing those things that you did.
yeah. I think
And
the reward part's difficult, and people over-reward themselves too. And I
well,
think
there's that too. And
that's
that
difficult.
can lead to, if you're looking fabulous, you might start thinking, you know what, I can have this tub of ice cream. But then the problem with that is slowly that seeps back in. And as you know, and I've done myself many
Yeah,
times, I've looked great and then slowly let things like that creep in. And eventually, after 6 months of letting it creep back in, you're back to looking not so good again.
yeah.
Then you go back through that whole process. And it's just human nature. But I think,
Adam,
having
I
those.
kind of like think we're going to go into a few videos, not today, that might explain some of that away. Like, I'm a big proponent of gut bacteria drives behavior in a lot of people. My
Yeah,
feeling specifically on that, and people often beat themselves up about, I don't have willpower. They don't
yeah,
understand it's the microbiome or the gut bacteria creating signaling to the brain that might be driving what you think is willpower. And
yeah.
somebody asked me the other day, does that mean if I feel like eating chocolate, I should? And it's like, you know what? The bacteria might be signaling for you to want to feel like you need to eat chocolate. It doesn't mean you should eat it though. Like, we are a competent and conscious entity here. We can make a decision over and above that, but it's
Mm.
hard. Like, unless you've got some sort of true motivation, it's really hard to just go, well, look, I'm just going to set that aside and I'm just
Yeah.
going to eat it. Like, people
Yeah,
now
I
listening
got
and say that.
I have to admit I got told yesterday by my gut microbe to go and buy a loaf of tiger bread and to eat a tub of gay time ice cream, and I actually did listen to it yesterday. It was a cheat day,
Yeah.
so I
I don't
did
have
listen
cheat
to
days
that.
anymore, Adam, because I'm trying to get into shape. I have a 2-hour window once a week to spike insulin levels, and
Yeah,
Uh, Actually, I don't find it satisfying like I used to. Like,
No, look, to be honest, the cheat days aren't as satisfying as you think they might be. That's something we'll talk about another day, but I'm a huge advocate of cheat days.
oh, so am I.
But you're right, over time they become less, and you start realizing that, you know what, I feel pretty crap
Yeah.
after eating all that rubbish. So
And
one
I
other
actually
final,
would say that my cheat days now are more structured around actually still getting good food, but because I'm doing effectively a ketogenic diet at the moment, I try to eat foods that I would be excluded from that still nutritionally have value, like sushi. Even though I'm a
yeah,
vegetarian, I love sushi. I can go there and eat like 6 to 10 plates of sushi and still
yeah,
get some nutritional value from it, but still get a couple of 100 grams of carbs in that one sitting. So I'm slightly motivated by them, but not as much as I used to be.
yeah.
So, and if you're
Um,
motivated around cheat days, maybe you should restructure the cheat days a little.
Yeah, I should. Just a final thing on motivation that I should mention. One of the other things you can do, besides the things we've talked about, to help with your motivation is to obviously, and it can help in business and many aspects of your life, surround yourself with the people that you want to be like.
Yeah,
So if you're hanging around people that are interested in fitness, that are eating well, that are motivated to go to the gym, it's going to help you
yeah.
be motivated to go as well.
And even if your real circle of friends is not that motivated, find a group of people online, even if it's me talking to Adam on Skype or another appropriate format that you can. I can honestly
Yeah,
say, out of all the friends that I spend time with physically, most of them are not interested, Adam. But that doesn't mean that I'm still not engaged in hanging around people. Even the people that I see at my gym, they would know if I wasn't there for a couple of days. They'd say, "Are you sick, Luke? Or are you been away, Luke?" And I think that's
yeah,
motivating in itself.
yeah,
All the people that I spend, friends and family that I spend time with, are probably I might have inspired some of them, but are not interested to the level that I am in training and nutrition. That is the hard part, Adam. But you are the average of the 5 friends you hang around the most, so I'm raising that average for myself.
I don't hang around anybody, so that says a lot.
Oh, that's a different conversation then, Adam.
Uh-huh.
Can't help with that. But thank you for listening. People finding their motivation. Wow, it's a hard one. Actually, I'll end with one point. I went to lunch with a old exercise physiologist who was my PT for a while, about a year ago, and I wasn't even the weight I am now. I was down to about 104 or something like that. She goes, "What did it take, Luke, for you to lose this weight?" And I said, "Oh, just somebody I know dying." And she just looked at me, and go, "I could never provide you with that motivation." And I think that's like a telling point. It took something like that for me before I physically bothered to get off my bum. Hopefully, for people our age, it doesn't take some sort of health crisis for them for this to happen too. Anyway, I've got to run, Adam. But till
All
next
right.
time, remember to subscribe, and we'll
See
speak
ya.
to you soon.
All right.